Minasan, konnichiwa. From today onwards, we are beginning to learn the third script of writing Japanese, namely Kanji. In today's video, we would cover the following. First, what Kanji are? How many Kanji are there? Kanji Readings. What are the rules of writing Kanji? And finally, we will sum up by looking at the easiest way to learn and master these characters. So let's begin. So dedewa hachimimashou. Let's first take a look at this sentence. Watashi wa indojin desu. Look at the scripts that are used in writing this sentence. You will be able to quickly identify that these two are written in hiragana, while this is in katakana. There are two letters which may not be familiar to you so far, and they are this one and this one. And these two letters are kanji characters. So as I had already told to you in our first video where we learned hiragana, that these three scripts, namely hiragana, katakana and kanji, are used simultaneously in writing a sentence. And quite many words get written in kanji. Hence, it is necessary for you to know this script also if you were to read Japanese. So let's begin learning about kanji now. What are kanji? The literal meaning of this word is Chinese alphabet. Kanji are characters which originated in China. It is said that earlier Japanese did not have a writing script of their own, so they adopted these kanji characters in writing Japanese. There is one interesting point about kanji, and that is, unlike hiragana and katakana, where each character represents a particular sound, kanji, apart from just expressing a sound, it represents an idea or a concept. It is said that kanji evolved from pictures. So there is a wealth of meaning hidden behind each of these kanji characters. Let's take a look at these four simple kanjis as to how they evolved. This is the kanji character for sun, and look at the way it has evolved. Second one is the character for mountain. Third one for river, and fourth one, this is the character for person. So just by looking at this character, there is a meaning or a story hidden behind each of these characters. Well, in English, if I wrote an alphabet like this, H, you could only tell the sound of this character, but there's no story, there's no meaning for this alphabet. But that's not the case for kanji, and that makes it interesting to learn. I will give you one more example of how, if you know the meaning of independent kanjis, when they come together, you can guess what the meaning of that word could be. Even if you cannot read it, you could take a guess on the meaning of it. Let's look at this. This kanji means big. It could have been drawn from a picture where a person is standing with two hands like this and two legs apart. So this means big. And this kanji means rain. Maybe it could have been inspired from a picture where clouds raining. So something like this is depicted here. And if I were to join these two characters and frame out a new word where you can see big kanji and rain here, take a guess on what this word could mean. Heavy rain. Similarly, this kanji means small, and when I join this with the rain kanji, it could mean less rain, small rain, or the right word I could write it as drizzle. So you do not know how to read these words, but just by looking at it, taking a guess of the meaning, that's one very good advantage of kanji. One note of caution here. I told you that kanji evolved from pictures, which means every kanji has a hidden story, is what I told. But not all kanji you would be able to relate it back to pictures which are familiar to you. Reason being, these kanjis have evolved over centuries. So it could happen that the modern kanji which you see today would be way different from the original picture from which it could have got inspired from. How many kanji are there? Well, there are thousands of kanjis. And out of them, the Japan Ministry of Education has officially announced 2136 kanji as the most commonly used kanji, and they are called as Joyo kanji. Don't get overwhelmed by looking at the figure. It takes quite some time even for a Japanese to master these kanjis. How are we going to learn kanji in this JLPT course is, around 120 kanjis get covered at N5 level. By the end of N4, you would be able to understand 300 kanji. Note, these figures are cumulative. And by the end of N3, you would be able to read and understand around 650 kanjis. So, at N5 level, we are going to learn about 120 kanji. And it does not happen where you sit on a particular day and write down and learn all the kanjis together. It's a gradual process. How to read kanji? That is, let's discuss about what are the kanji readings. Every kanji character has two readings, namely the original Chinese pronunciation onyomi and the native Japanese pronunciation kunyomi. Well, you may wonder, why are there two pronunciations for a single character? Let's go back to some amount of history to understand this. Remember, I told you that kanji were characters that originated in China. Hence, each of the characters ought to have a Chinese pronunciation to it. When these kanji characters were adopted in Japanese language, a Japanese pronunciation was also given to them. Hence, each character have two pronunciation, namely the Chinese pronunciation and the Japanese pronunciation. And the names are, Chinese reading is called as onyomi and the Japanese reading is called as kunyomi. In order to differentiate between onyomi and kunyomi, kunyomi, since it is Japanese pronunciation, gets written in hiragana, whereas the other one, which is onyomi, since it is other than Japanese, that pronunciation is written in katakana. Let's take a look at an example to understand all of this better. Here is the kanji character. We had already seen it in that pictorial representation. Do you remember what this kanji means? Person. The kunyomi. Kunyomi, remember what pronunciation is that? Japanese pronunciation. Kunyomi for that is hito. And the onyomi for it is jin, nin. I repeat, kunyomi is hito, onyomi for it is jin, nin. An obvious question now would be, if you were reading this kanji in a sentence, for example this one, which reading are you to attach here? Onyomi or kunyomi? A general rule for that is, when you see the kanji character as a single one, or the kanji along with some hiragana characters, then use the kunyomi for it. When you see a kanji compound word, that is more than one kanji combined in a single word, use the onyomi. A word of caution, this is only a general rule, exceptions are always there. So let's try reading this set of words. The kanji followed by ga, oi, this kanji character is attached to some hiragana words. Hence, we will read it with the kunyomi. This would be read as hitoga oi. Hitoga oi. Next one. Two kanji characters. Hence, the onyomi has to be used. There are two onyomi to it. How will we read this one? Can you use any of it? No. There is a particular way in which every word is read. This word would be read as nanin. Nanin. This pronunciation. The next one. Again, there are two kanji here. Please don't mistake this to be the katakana letter rho. This is different. This is the kanji here. So, the onyomi has to be used. This would be read as jinko. Jinko. Now you may wonder, how did I know that nin comes here? How did I know that jin comes here? It comes by practice. Which means, every time you read a character, it's not enough just to memorize the kunyomi and the onyomi for it. The more words you see, you will be able to know when to use which reading. It comes only by practice. How to write kanji? Well, there is a specific stroke order in which every kanji is written. That's because some kanjis are as simple as just 1 or 2 strokes, while there could be kanjis with as many as even 15 to 20 strokes. Hence, there is a stroke order for every kanji. The golden rule for writing kanji being, horizontal strokes are drawn from left to right and vertical strokes top to bottom. Let's see a few kanji and understand how they are written. The first kanji. This will be drawn from top to bottom, as in the first line followed by second and then comes the third line. For a kanji like this, it will be drawn from left to right, which means this is my first stroke, second and then the third one. For a kanji like this, the horizontal stroke should be drawn first and then the intersecting vertical stroke. And for this one, the central stroke should be drawn first and then the smaller side strokes. I mean, this will be drawn first and then the smaller side strokes. It's very important that you learn every kanji with the right stroke order. This would ensure that you're drawing the character the way it should actually look. So how are we to learn and master these kanjis? It involves a 5-step approach. First, for every kanji character, we will take a look at how the character looks and understand some background about the kanji as to how it evolved or any other tips or techniques to remember the kanji. Kanji represents an idea or a concept. So if you're familiar with the idea or concept, it becomes easy for you to remember the character. Next, learn the right stroke order. That will help you to draw and write the kanji easily. Get familiarized with the kanji readings, namely the onyomi and the kunyomi of it. But knowing the reading alone wouldn't suffice. You should know which reading to put in which place, which means you should learn the words. The more the words you come across with that kanji, the more you will gain confidence on how to read that kanji. And last, practice is what will make you perfect in reading and writing kanji. So let's take an example of how are we going to learn the kanji in our forthcoming lessons. I've taken an example of this kanji, which means person. So I have shown you how this kanji has evolved. It's a person standing with 2 legs. The right stroke order, it's drawn like this. The kunyomi of this kanji is hito and the onyomi is jin, nin. Some words using this kanji are nihonjin, san nin, on nano hito. Don't apply too much of mind as to which sound, what rule I'm using while reading it. Just go with the flow. Learn the words as they are. These sounds will sink in your mind and you will be able to easily read them without any difficulties. There could be some exceptional readings also. I will introduce you to them, as in for this kanji there are two exceptional readings. This is read as hitori and this one as futari. At the end of every kanji video, we will be looking at some practice questions to review all that we have learnt. Because practice is what will make you perfect.